All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 21. Today on the show, the cringe of the week, they, thems, continue to outdo themselves. We have a trans swimmer update section that is also the Fleccas is Vindicated section, and Where Are the Dads section, all in one. The CDC Muppets continue to mupp, this time at the expense of our children. Dan Crenshaw wore a mask with kids in a photo. I can't get over it. We have a terrorist trucker update, and we also talk about the situation in Ukraine. I give you my gut feeling on that and tell you why I stand with Putin. All this and more. It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 21, ranked the best new podcast of all time. Of all time. Of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Bradmore.
One take.
One take. Wow. I always get it done in one take, and there's never any takes before it.
Yeah, I've never seen you botch a line. I've never seen you get frustrated. You're really great at podcasting.
I'm really great at podcasting. Let's get right into it. Let's get into the things that I've been festering on. I call it general housekeeping.
Yeah, room's service. You gotta.
We got to keep people updated. General housekeeping. First things first. Dan Crenshaw. Why wear a mask in photo, Dan?
Yeah, that was a bad picture.
Huh? All these kids and Dan all wear a mask. Charlie Kirk and all the kids wear no mask. But at same event, Dan Crenshaw wear a mask. And I keep commenting on Dan's post, and I say, why wear a mask in photo? Why wear a mask in photo? And I'm a blue check, and I put these comments there, and they get no likes.
You're restricted, buddy.
It seems like I'm restricted, Dan. Did you restrict me?
Dan put you in jail.
Dan put me in Instagram jail. He restricted me, it looks like. That's weird, Dan. I'm going to keep asking. I recommend everyone does the same on every single post Dan posts. Why wear mask in photo?
What's the value of a picture in a mask anyway?
So it's embarrassing.
It's humiliating. You're like, oh, that was the shitty time of life. Like,
it would be like worse. Like when I went to CPAC last year and they tried to make me wear a mask, there was like a second where like they gave it to me, they just put it on, and I had it like this, and I was like gonna do it, and then there was like a kid standing in front of me with his phone out, ready to take a photo.
You could tell.
And I was like, what am I gonna take a photo with a mask on?
Yeah.
And it didn't fully go on. You know, there's a video, everyone knows. And I got kicked out of CPAC for not wearing a mask.
Yep.
But it's because if I were to be seen in a mask, especially in a photo, that would really just do some damage to my soul.
Yep.
But not Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, Dan likes it, apparently. He's fine with it.
Maybe he just doesn't. He stands for a little bit of tyranny. We can all trust Dan to stop the
mild to moderate tyranny.
Yeah, mild to moderate. He's fine, and we can trust Dan to stand up to the global tyrannus doing the Great Reset.
Yeah,
I'm sure Dan will.
If Dan was at the Super Bowl, he would have been chilling.
Yeah. So yeah, Dan stands for it. Moving on. This week, 22222 happened too.
Big day for the astrology girls.
Big day for the astrology girls. Ladies, did you notice nothing happened?
Yeah, nothing changed. Did you?
Yeah.
The vibrations might have been nice, but
there wasn't an energy shift. No portals open. Nothing's aligning. There's no new alignment of anything. And if something did change for the better, congrats. You were absolutely right.
Yeah, you got lucky. The 1 in 1,000 chance that it happened on 2/22/22.
A Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that works like that. Like, I don't think we lined it up perfectly, and like the universe knows it's Tuesday.
I feel comfortable with the 80% male audience, probably. What would you consider it? It's like, astrology girls, please stop. This is not fun. It makes no sense. There's no logic or reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
It's basically NFTs for girls.
It's NFTs for girls, and it's also like I get why there was like the Salem witch trials.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, the sun's moving, and now my Saturn moon is activated. It's like,
yeah, we just need crops. Let's kill this lady.
we just need crops. Let's throw this lady in the water with the brick on her feet and see what happens. So yeah, 2222222. Nothing happened. You're borderline schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Moving on. Almost done with the housekeeping section. We're getting to the show. I had a little bit of a bad experience ordering food the other day. I ordered a cheeseburger from like an Italian restaurant, and look at this photo I have here. Look at this. Look at how they put like the lettuce, tomato, onions, pickles.
Yeah.
Look at how they stack the pickles.
That's like the same number of pickles hidden under that guy from SpongeBob's tongue. Like, that's a lot of fucking pickles.
Yeah, and it's like pretty much 6 pickles stacked vertically, and that's where under where the hamburger meat patty was. Stacked vertically. Like, wouldn't you like? No one can do a job anymore, I guess. Like, wouldn't you do your job and say, if I was eating a burger, how would I want to eat it? And you go like, oh, I'll spread them out so every bite's got a little pickle on it. And these people now are so disconnected from what they're doing that it's just like, oh, the burger needs 5 pickles, 5. All right, lettuce, tomato, and it's like you stacked it up. Pretend you're gonna eat it.
I have 1 bite with 5 pickles now, and 75% of the rest.
And it's like, do you think some psycho came in and ordered a pickle sandwich like this? It's like, oh, maybe this guy's fucking nuts.
Maybe this guy loves pickles. It's insane.
Maybe this guy's 6 years old and a kid who ordered a pickle sandwich
as a joke to play with his food.
So I don't understand it. Like, wouldn't you just think to yourself, how would someone want to eat a burger? Like, how would I want to eat a burger and then just do it? But it's like people can't do their jobs. And that's why I'm happy the robots are taking over. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you like that? They'll distribute the pickles evenly, for sure.
And so no one knows what they're doing. No one can do their job anymore. It happened with the pizza place, too, in town. I'm sorry to use the name, but Oak and Stone. I ordered the buffalo chicken pizza. You bring me the pizza, it's a circle, and all the chicken is in the middle. And then at the end, the crusts are gigantic, and there's no, like, wouldn't you
I remember that, yeah.
Wouldn't you just evenly distribute it?
No, they do, like, the fast hands thing, like, oh, I'm in the kitchen, fast, and then they don't care.
And it's like, oh, this bite is all buffalo chicken, this bite's all blue cheese, and then the crust is half the slice, and it's dry.
4 inches, yeah.
Can't you just fucking do something?
After last week, some St. Pete people reached out, and we did get some pizza recommendations. So people are saying try Toby's, Little Italy.
Yeah, we got some decent recommendations, I guess.
So we're on the prowl. Because we're not satisfied.
Yeah. I went on a trip, and I was at a restaurant, and I ate a nice dinner by myself. It was amazing. And I coughed at dinner. And this lady looked over from the table, like, and it was like the same reaction that you would do if someone, I don't want to be vulgar on the show, if someone were to fart.
Oh.
And it's like now coughing gets you like
That's vulgar for the show?
Coughing gets you a fart reaction now. So it's like, and then someone's like,
What do you think that is? It's still
people
COVID
are just
fear
scared. People
in
are
Florida?
scared. Yeah.
In Miami?
Well, yeah, it was like a tourist place. People are scared.
That's really sad, man. Yeah, it is becoming sort of a thing. And it's like, no, I just vaped. I just smoked something. Like, it's not me.
Yeah. So everyone's scared, and now coughing gets you the fart reaction, which is scary. And the
fart reaction, you start looking around like, am I at a TikTok? Is someone just pranking me in Walmart right now?
Yeah. You fart in front of people like that?
No, I'm talking about a hypothetical bit. You're the one who's disgusting. You don't want me to air out your dirty laundry to this camera right here.
Air out anything.
Your dirty diapers.
We can move on. We can move on to something more substantial. We can move on to something more substantial.
Okay, what do you got?
Louis, Louie, and Louise. Are they all the same name?
No, you just went through them. They're all individual.
But they're all spelled Louis.
Luis is Luis. Luis, like a Hispanic. Luis.
Oh. And then Louis. Like
Louis
can
be Lew or Louis.
And then Louis.
Well, Louis, the name, St. Louis, has an S at the end, St. Louis.
But Louis
is like short for, it's Louie. Louis.
Louie?
Yeah. All vowels. L in all vowels.
All right. Maybe that that was a half baked.
Yeah, you're not in shape. You shouldn't have written that down.
Okay, moving on.
Still in housekeeping.
We're still in housekeeping. We're almost done. The show's gonna start soon. We're still in housekeeping. I'm still fighting with the pitbull people. Everyone,
yeah.
Every week I fight with the pitbull people because I post pitbull memes and they keep sending me pictures of their really nice pitbulls.
And then a paragraph explaining how it's the best dog and you had to rescue it and there's a long journey.
Which I don't read because I went to the dog park last week with Jerry and I saw a pitbull from far away. And out of the 50 dogs that were there, I said, ooh, that dog is going to be a problem. And there he comes, like on a downward angle with his head in a certain way. And I'm like,
shoulders all jacked up.
This dog is in position like to rumble. He's in rumble mode.
That's what we call it.
Rumble still skin, this dog. And he came rumbling in, gets in Jerry's face, neck to neck, and then
Yeah.
And then
absolutely attack Jerry. In a
absolutely
vicious manner.
attack Jerry. I have to pull Jerry off. His trash owner comes over and he goes, oh, like, he starts choking the dog. He has the dog like choked so bad because the dog deserved it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, bring your dog back. I want to teach him. It could be a learning experience. And Rat Boy was just like, nah, I'm pulling him away.
Yeah, it was like he kind of, the dog fully attacked Jerry. The guy pulls him off and is doing his little discipline, and he goes, oh, no, let him stay or something. I'm like, no, I'm not risking this dog bite.
Let him stay.
For your stupid Pitbull to have a teaching moment. The Pitbull shouldn't even be at the dog park. He's attacking every dog that's here.
The Pitbull should be dead.
Yeah, Pitbull should be euthanized. I'm sorry.
Sorry. That Pitbull we saw at the dog park should be dead. And
he's a menace to society.
As like a gun owner, when I think about concealed carry, it's always like, you know, when would you use it? If someone pulls a gun or someone's robbing a store, if there's a shooting. If you have a concealed carry, and for example, in Florida, I would say 90% of the time, like if I had to think about when I would use my gun in a concealed carry situation, it would be to shoot a pit bull attacking me or my dog.
Yeah.
I've gone outside, and there's been like, we've seen 3 times in the last like 2 months, pit bulls off their leash being a little sketchy out in front of their yards. And that's who gets shot with the gun, the pit bull.
If they don't respond, I can't unlatch their jaw. They're hurting my dog.
Yeah.
It might get a pop point blank.
So we have to get Jerry, the famous Rottweiler, a spike collar. So when the pit bull bites his neck, we go on offense and it hurts him.
Good.
I hated that dog. I saw it.
Oh, yeah. No.
I saw it in his eyes. And then the owner was doing a good job of like trying to correct it, but like, how many average idiot owners are there that can't correct a dog like that? How many girls have pit bulls that he wouldn't be able to pull him off?
If that guy tripped for like 1 second, lost his footing, and it's like, all right, your dog's unattended for 8 seconds, like thrashing whoever.
I'd kick that dog in the guts so hard.
Yeah.
And then everyone sends me videos of like pit bulls being nice and goes, oh, Fleccas is scared of this.
Well,
no, I'm not. I'm not scared of that one. That one's nice and great. I'm scared of the shitty ones that are everywhere and all over the shelters. Then they send me a picture of a Rottweiler attacking a kid. Oh, is this bad? That was one for every. I've seen one Rottweiler attacking a kid, and I've been talking shit on pit bulls for 3 months. And every day I see a scary pit bull video.
Well, and then that's the thing is all these pit mommies, those types. It's like, oh, put him in a tutu, put a little bandana on his head. He's harmless. And it's like, let's put him in front of an unneutered dog with no leash and then see what happens because it's going to go crazy.
Exactly. And that's what it does. These things are horrible beasts. There's actually an anti-pit bull subreddit and they mentioned us.
Really?
They said, because they're trying to get like public support of like being anti-pit bull. And they're like, yeah, Fleccas talks about this on his podcast all the time.
That's great.
Yeah, shout out to the anti-pit bull Reddit. I am 100% on your side. We should get rid of these dogs.
They're not worth anything. And then you notice how everything in the dog shelters, it's like lab mix, something mix. And it's just like, that's a fucking pit bull face.
Yeah.
What are you guys mixing with him?
Yeah.
Don't lie
everyone's
to
like, oh,
me.
that's not a pit bull. Yeah, it is. They're all pit bulls.
Yeah.
The bad dogs are pit bulls.
They're all... It's really simple. I mean, I don't know. We can ignore statistics, attacks, all the anecdotal evidence we have. It's like I have everything.
Yeah.
Anecdotal, data.
We should do a video where we go to shelters around here and just say what % of these dogs are pit bulls or pit bull mixes, just to prove a point. And I'll say what percentage of these dogs are high-end Rottweilers that you found by accident that are thousands of dollars.
With the absolute perfect paint coat job.
Yeah, absolute perfect paint. Jerry's a champ. And people try to get mad and say, oh, like, this is how a liberal acts. Like, you probably think we should ban guns, too. No, a gun doesn't do anything on its own.
Yeah, Gunny just doesn't get up and chase after a Labradoodle in the neighborhood and get caught on your Ring camera thrashing him up.
So, yeah, we can move on. That's why this episode also is brought to you by the Kid Thrasher t-shirt, shopfleccas.com, best merch in the game. Kid Thrasher still available, a couple more weeks of this. Pick it up today, support the show, goes a long way.
Yeah.
Use code Jerry for 15% off, and you will love it. Let's get into the action. Cringe of the week.
All right, what do we got? What do
We
you
have a
want first?
great Cringe of the week this week. Brace's Muppet is the one I want first. Do you have that ready to
I
rip?
have it. It's actually titled, I titled it something else, but we won't say it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I think it's finally time for an update on my gender series. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what part this is, but let's go. Okay, first off, I am now just going by Kay now. I no longer like to be called Kayla, unless it's for work, just because it's kind of confusing with the paperwork and stuff, so yeah.
So it's not a big enough deal to actually like to have belief in what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the people at work will get confused. They can just call me whatever.
Your whole identity is one of those things that you don't want to explain. So forget it, you know? So,
Yeah, let's see her reasoning.
Paperwork and stuff, so yeah. I also am now using all pronouns instead of none. I
that's
don't
a big
regret
change.
not
All
going by any
pronouns to
pronouns
none.
before, but
It's almost as if this whole thing isn't.
that's a full 180.
Yeah.
So-
all pronouns now, or no pronouns to all.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you have a revelation, or are you making it up? Or
Yeah.
do you have nothing and you're just floating in the wind looking for attention?
And these are the people that want to tell us how society should be run. They want to change everything. They want to be in charge. They want to do all the explaining of how things work and who's oppressed. This is who people want to listen to, not me. Don't you miss the days when like the awkward, weird girls would just like give themselves bad bangs
Yeah.
and be quiet?
You'd
and,
wear like
awkward.
a punk jacket. You'd get into like a punk phase, or, you know, there were outlets for these types.
You'd have like weird bad bangs and you'd like regret it. And, you know, those days are over, I guess. Now they're in charge.
Now they just go to the LGBTQ. Like, do you see that Gen Z graph that said 20% of Gen Z is LGBTQ?
Mm-hmm. They're taking over.
You think that's natural?
That group is really becoming whatever. You have weird hair. You're a little awkward. You're a little androgynous. You just join the LGBTQ.
Just come
now.
in the fold. We'll call you something. We'll invent something for you. Just
There's something for
jump
everyone.
in. There's room. We got a big tent, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got spiked hair and you're kind of like skinny, awkward guy. It's like, you might be Two-Spirit.
Yeah.
You
Two
might-
Spirit went away. That was big in the early
Yeah.
woke days, but that kind of went away.
You might be a demi boy. Have you thought about that? And he goes, well, what's a demi boy? And then you have this whole thing.
Broad definition of it that doesn't really mean anything.
And then it explains who you are, and then it gives yourself some like structure. It's like these people want structure and labels, even though they claim to not. And the way they find it is in the LGBTQIA plus. And then soon you'll be chilling with the pedophiles, trying to defend them. So have fun. You're gonna be holding the bag at the end when the pedos start coming around and saying, "Oh yeah, we're in orientation. We want to be respected. We're not acting on anything, but
I'm just admitting I'm attracted to kids.
yeah." And it's like, yeah,
Like, okay.
you don't act on it.
So, I mean, this clip we chose, it was important. We can find a freak anywhere we look. Throw a dart out there, you're going to find a freak. But the ones who are obviously so backwards, or like they literally doing a 180 for no reason, she can't even explain it. It's like, congrats. You discredited your entire group. So, congrats.
Yeah, like you're almost showing us how the sausage is made.
Yeah, it's
Like, hey, it's pretty much whatever I say, and it changes every day. And it's
or feel.
Yeah. So, I don't know if we can build anything on that foundation.
Yeah. It's like building a house on quicksand. It's like, it got sucked up. It's different now.
Yeah, it's a house now, and now it's puddle house. It's underneath. We have
But I was
another-
being true to me the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
literal.
come on.
Spike collar Muppet.
Let's get her up.
Let's get her up. Let's see what she's saying.
If you're non-binary and you know it, clap your hands. If you're non-binary but you're actually gender fluid, but you don't want to explain to people that your pronouns change regularly because your gender is that freaking fluid, and you don't really care either way what pronouns people use, except for certain days where you feel super masc or super femme or super androgynous. But you also don't want to bother people with having them try to remember what pronouns you are for certain days, and even you don't really know most of the days, so you just sit there like, sure, whatever you want to reference me as. Clap your hands.
I don't really plan on interacting with you at all for anything.
I'd like to stay away.
I have so few people that I really manage the relationships with in my life that I don't think I can take this on.
Yeah, I don't think I have space. I don't have the bandwidth to get involved in your pronouns.
Yeah, I don't have the bandwidth. I actually would wear a mask to deal with a person like this.
That's the only time
And
you
I would
just put it on and go,
and go, and just get away. And it's interesting. Well, actually, they're the mask people.
Yeah.
They like that.
yeah, this is not a.
I think we should do a thing where it's like, this could get out of hand.
mask forever.
Well, it's
campaign.
like, if
Because
you're,
that's been happening.
it's similar where it's like if you're going to do a video and you're not going to wear a mask, you're almost encouraging people
To not wear a mask.
not wear a mask. And the responsible thing in your stupid Muppet clown world would be to promote safety, right?
Yeah.
And then it could get out of hand because if we start doing that, then they can be like, all right, we're taking all the movies down that we don't like because they're not doing social distancing or wearing masks. And, you know, it could get out of hand and destroy our culture and they could delete everything.
Could turn into a black hole quicksand scenario.
Yeah. But I think we really could and should push for these people to live by their own rules and then mask up and just muzzle these mutts.
Yeah. No, that's
not
fair.
dehumanizing either. They're mutt people. And then they're they, thems, they're everything. They don't care. You can refer to them as anything they said.
Yeah.
So I'm not dehumanizing any groups in order to escalate anything at all. It's just if we muzzle these people and put masks on them, the us versus them that they try to do could actually be in our favor. I'll never wear a mask, but then I'll see these mutts wearing it and I'll go, oh, yeah, these are mask people. I don't talk to them.
We can weaponize it for our own gain.
Yeah. It's like, that's pretty good.
But dude, again, this is another girl who has no idea which way she's coming or going. When I feel mask or femme or this, it's like, what does that feel like? What is that? Can you please describe it to me? Because I think it's nothing. And I think it's just whatever your mood at the day is.
And like you're in like your teens or you're in the 20s and like you're awkward and you're like having emotions and like hormones. It's like you're probably just wrongfully calling something else this.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's like you don't get that 20% Gen Z number without some sort of confluence of events just leading you towards the path of LGBTQ. It's like it's a big funnel and it's like little weird, green hair, whatever, just funnel them down.
Not many friends in school, made fun of,
Outcast.
Not an athlete. You're LGBTQ.
Yeah, come on to the non-binary crowd. Everybody loves us. All the teachers are super nice. They take special time. They give us special stuff, good treatment.
I wonder if they could do LGBTQ and then include like they kind of do it already. People of color, like they do it for like intersectionality at protests and stuff.
Yeah,
but imagine like just adding like Latinx or like black women and like LGBTQ BL and black women, and then just add like whoever is disenfranchised in your clown world to LGBTQ.
Yeah.
It's like you have to add as many people as possible that are maybe even straight and allies or whatever. So when you bring the pedos in, you don't go from like 80% to 5% support. You go from like, that was a bad example.
Well, but it's funny because this point is happening right now in the LGBTQ plus IA where there's just like LGB. There's the LGB, lesbian, gay, and bisexual group who are like, we're old school. We just kind of fought for what we needed. We wanted to, be able to get married, visit people at the hospital, do all this excuses that they talked about. They're not for this. They're like, you're making a mockery of us. Mm-hmm. The TIA plus is making a mockery of the LGB. And the old school LGB people know that. Mm-hmm. Like you think just a regular lesbian lady who works as a welder is trying to get involved in this weird pronoun shit.
Yeah, someone with the motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She goes to the bar with her group of lesbian friends. Like they're not interested.
Yeah, she smokes cowboy killers and rides a Harley.
Marlboro Reds, baby.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like this younger generation is not making any sense. And this older generation is like, we just want to be like kind of normal people and respected.
So the whole thing gets thrown out.
And so they're bringing the LGB down to this level and doing stupid shit on TikTok. Uncontested,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. LGBTQ AOC,
AOC is just in it. She's in. She's grandfathered in.
She's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's go on to still cringe of the week.
But still cringing here.
Still cringing here, and there's also a little bit of like a caveat. This is like cringe of the week is also kind of like a where are the dads section.
Yeah.
So it's like if you want to avoid LGBTQ influence on your kid's life, what would you do? Send them to a fun camp, maybe a science camp, right? You'd think a science camp would be a good place for a kid to be and learn stuff.
That's like, space camp,
Space camp.
They don't They have to talk about like physics and trajectory and math equations and stuff, right?
But check this out. This is what's going on at this
Gender,
California
pronouns.
science camp.
The parents then reached out to the camp director, who told them that counselors, biological males who identify as they, them, are permitted to spend the night in cabins with the young girls. In the parking lot of Weaver Elementary School in Los Alamitos, a group of parents,
No parent should feel the way I feel after knowing what could have happened to my daughter.
upset by the sleeping arrangements at a school-organized science camp.
I contacted the school and I asked them if they were able to confirm that there was not a man actually sleeping in the same cabin as the girls. They were not able to confirm that.
The parents say their fifth-grade girls told them some of the biologically male counselors at Camp Pali in San Bernardino identified as they, them, and spent 3 nights sleeping in cabins with the young girls.
With the fifth grade girls. Fifth grade girls.
Yep.
Hanging out with the they thems in the cabin overnight at science camp. At the science camp, the boys, the men that say they're girls,
The they thems.
the they thems are in the girls' dorm at a science camp, which is like a satanic. It's like a satanic upside down flip, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is as graphic as it gets for those upside down things. It's like first science lesson. Let's talk chromosomes.
Yeah.
And it's like no.
We have to skip that section.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. So build your little car that we'll put down a ramp and then we'll have a race. But the dudes are sleeping with you kids and good luck.
And it's like the weird dudes.
Yeah, the weird dudes. Who do you think is more likely to commit a sexual crime? Someone who like flaunts their weird sexuality all the time, or someone who's just quietly living life?
Yeah. Someone who openly talks about how their innocence was stolen from them as a child.
Jesus.
Yeah, dark. It's dark, but that's how these things happen, and that's how these things.
This is like
Continue.
when you're a dad and you come in and you see something happening in your daughter's room or something. It's like you just get to start punching, and the cops are going to let you go. But it's backwards world now. So it's no, yeah. There's a they them in the cabin. You know,
It's fine.
imagine being the secretary or whoever principal explaining that to parents.
So bad. Speaking of science camp and where are the dads, we have a major Leah Thomas update.
Leah Thomas is winning championships now.
Leah Thomas, this is the Fleccas is vindicated again section. We called this like 3 months ago. Leah Thomas broke 5 records and won 3 events at the Ivy League Championships. So congratulations, Leah Thomas.
Leah, you're the best woman ever. You're so
You're
beautiful.
a woman. You're a beautiful woman.
Hey, Leah, congrats. It was easy, right?
Yeah. You won by 7 seconds, which in swimming is like half the pool. More.
Yeah.
So congrats, Leah.
Leah, you're so beautiful.
Your real name, Leah Thomas. Your real name. You're a beautiful woman, champion woman swimmer. 100% champion woman swimmer, Leah Thomas.
Leah, you should get bottom surgery.
Yeah.
What's the weight? Like, shouldn't you have, if you're so committed, shouldn't you have done that already?
Yeah, it's horrible. And then there was a Substack article written about it, and the lady interviewed a lot of the parents at the event.
Yeah.
And a lot of the parents were upset, and here's where it gets dark. And here's why we keep saying, where are the dads? Where are the dads? It gets dark because a bunch of people who did the interviews and weren't happy about it later reached out to the interviewer and begged her to actually not show the interview, not publish
publish their name and
not
all
to
that.
publish their names, not to publish their quotes. And one of the reasons was a lady was scared her kid wouldn't get into grad school. One dad said, please, take our name off and get rid of the interview. I don't want to please don't hurt my child.
Yeah.
Please don't hurt my child. And it's like, that would be like telling a surgeon, hey, don't do life-saving surgery on my kid because I don't want you to cut them open. Like that, I don't want you to hurt them.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're so missing the point. And what you're not taking a stand for, you're just like submitting to. And now your kid, you don't want to hurt your kid? Well, now your kid can't win first place and all the hard work she did doesn't matter because a guy wants to beat up some girls because he's got some mental problems.
Yeah. Because he's got issues in his own head that he hasn't worked out.
Everyone's scared. The dads are scared.
And we kind of made this point on the masks at the Olympics, like maybe 2 weeks ago. And there's a quote in this article, but regarding the parents, and it goes, they have opinions about everything. They'll explain how there's a $400 swimsuit that you can only wear once, but that might be worth it for a 1/10 of a second. It's the same thing we said, like Olympics, everything comes down to a razor thin margin. And then
Unless
this
a dude
shows up and blows you out by 7 seconds.
and blows you out.
So yeah,
Exactly.
the swimsuit might not be worth it then.
And
But
you don't want to say anything because you want your kid to go to Bucknell Law School or whatever. Who cares?
So this person who wrote the article, Weiss, I think it was Barry Weiss, maybe. Was it New York Times or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, it was a Substack.
Okay. But so either way, but as history unfolds in front of their noses, they refuse to comment because they're deathly afraid of ruining their daughter. These are kids on the precipice of like high-powered, great careers, Ivy League kids who are trying to get into grad school. This one quote, she's worried about getting into grad school, the mom told Weiss, and she doesn't want my name or hers to come up on any Google search attached to this. So it's like very dystopia shit, like where some leftist can write about how you were mad at Leah Thomas.
And then you get exiled from the institutions because they're all compromised by the same thing at the top.
Exactly.
Which is like communism in China and the globalists and
Globo Homo
agenda.
Could we say that?
I don't think it's offensive.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly there's a wave happening right now.
Didn't Putin say that too?
I don't know. I'd have to check.
I think he said a global homo something, and that's just we're quoting.
Yeah.
It's like homosexual is the word. It's not offensive.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's begging, please don't hurt my child. Please don't, involve me in any of this. And it's actually pretty dystopian.
Very sick. Speaking of dystopian, let's go into our COVID muppetry section.
Okay.
New York Times posted an article about how this family was thinking about firing their unvaxxed person of color babysitter because they weren't vaccinated, but they were wondering, is it like white supremacy to do that?
What outranks what here?
So yeah, what's the title of the thing?
It said, the New York Times wrote, and this is from February 20th, should a parent fire her unvaccinated babysitter, and should race be a factor in the decisions? Our advice column, The Ethicist, offers guidance.
Yeah, and basically what they said in the ethicist, it's like backwards.
You guys are crazy.
This is bonkers. So the ethicist basically said that it's not white supremacy to fire someone for not being vaccinated, and it's like a peek behind the curtain and like at the totem pole of like oppression or like at the left's totem pole, the progressive totem pole. So it's like white supremacy is bad.
It's really the wealthy white interpretation of the totem pole. This is a white columnist, or actually, I think this is probably a black dude who wrote this, right? His name's Kwame Anthony Appiah. So it's like he's going to give you the advice, rich, liberal white woman with a nanny. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, and basically it says...
He's a black guy, so he can speak for this.
He's allowed, and that's who makes the rules now. He says that... obviously white supremacy is bad, but it's not white supremacy to fire someone for being not vaccinated. So it's like a peek at the totem pole. Basically, white supremacy is bad, but if you're unvaxxed, that's even worse. And if that's like a thing of what should we care about, we're always going to defer to getting vaccinated because it's so important to get vaccinated, even though it doesn't do anything.
Even though black people are one of the lowest rates of vaccinated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like we're giving you the okay.
Yeah. Being unvaxxed is worse than being a white supremacist, if we had to pick.
Which we are right now in the New York Times.
And then the New York Times had another one, a dog sitter, same thing, that said like, hey, my dog sitter comes into my building and gets my dog every day. They're not vaccinated. They're only in the building for like a minute, in and out to pick up the dog. Like, should I fire them? And then
I believe my dog walker is unvaccinated. There hasn't been like a face-to-face confrontation.
Yeah.
It's just like, I have a suspicion.
So it's a suspicion. And in that situation, the ethicist said that they should ask if the building's rules are the building's rules. If they can't come in, if they're not vaccinated, they can't come in. So now the advice was...
It's like defer to nameless, faceless organizations.
Yeah, and like that are enforcing some stupid rule that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And the advice is, well, you don't have to fire him, but maybe you should just walk your dog downstairs and have them pick the dog up outside. And it's like, yeah, that's good advice. Put your mask on, the piece of paper on your face, take your dog downstairs and hand him to the base dog walker. Don't fire him.
Could you imagine taking advice from like a generic column writer? Like, that's right. I should do that. Instead of just like listening to your gut and vibing it.
Put the paper on your face. Put your mask on.
Yeah.
That's like the one where you can't just think for yourself enough to say, hey, this dog walker comes in the building for like 30 seconds. It's not a big deal. Like, there's no COVID transmission. Like, I'm not have to worry. Like, no big deal. You asking for advice on how to handle that the easy, oh, no big deal. You don't have to do anything. It's a dog walker, no big deal. You can't figure that out. So it's like, wow, the rest of your life is going good.
Yeah, what's your job? Like, what do you fucking do?
Yeah, your analysis and your way of thinking of things and solving problems, I'm sure, is really good. This one, you need some advice.
There's a waiting to be told what to do nature of this too, which is very scary to me. Like, what do you think I should do, totem pole organizer?
Yeah.
It's like, here, I'll shuffle the deck for you. I'll show you what's up.
Yeah. This COVID situation has given me like bad dreams.
Really?
Yeah. I had this really horrible dream the other day.
Is this another one of those dreams that you're...
Yeah.
Okay.
A
dream. Okay.
I had a dream. I had another one of these dreams.
Air quotes.
And in my dream, this is like my dream took place in the future. And in my dream, everyone who got the vaccine in my dream ended up having really weak immune systems. And they weren't able to fight against like sicknesses in my dream. They weren't able to like, it was, they basically had like a compromised immune system because of the vaccine in my dream.
Okay.
And everyone years from now in my dream was like just relying completely on big pharma.
Give me my solution.
Yeah,
Like,
give me my pills and my booster shots. And everyone was just relying on big pharma in my dream because they basically had AIDS from the vaccine in my dream. And then there was like this huge octopus called Deep State in my dream. And he had this gigantic pandemic tentacle and it was wrapped around the world. And it was like a big pharma pandemic tentacle wrapped around the world, so strong in my dream. And then the endless wars in the Middle East tentacle was taking a break in my dream. In my dream.
wow. So you think one tentacle is always involved and they're constantly rotating it?
And they're juicing some, taking some others down after they've been juiced for a while. But that was all in my dream. It was really weird. Like everyone basically had like AIDS caused by the vaccine and a weak immune system in my dream. And then they were just stuck living off of big pharma. And then healthcare became like this huge important thing that, you know, we didn't really see coming in my dream.
Yeah. And then they had to buy all their seeds from Monsanto and then it's all a thing.
Yeah.
Corporation has to run every single part of it.
Yeah. So we can kind of move on, but it's a similar thing following Cringe of the Week.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was telling me how, as a woman, she's noticed that these days, everyone who's in charge, the men are all governing out of fear. And fear and for safety, and it's all about being safe. And it's like back in the day, the people governing would govern and they would make hard choices, but do what's best for the people.
Yeah.
But now everything's fear and safety and zero COVID. One death is too many, and everyone's scared.
Yeah.
And everyone's governing. And I noticed this on my trip. I went to Miami. I'm at the beach. I went in the ocean, trying to have a nice time. I go out. I'm not that far, up to in between my chest and my belly button in the water. And then the lifeguard starts blowing the whistle at me and saying, and I look back and I'm like, I think she's talking to me, but I'm not doing anything bad.
Was there like a barrier or something that you...
No, I was just out in the water straight ahead, right in front of the lifeguard. And I was just like, she's blowing her whistle. I don't think it's for me because nothing's happening. I'm standing up to my waist in water and the waves are 2 to 3 feet. I looked it up.
Feet firmly planted.
Feet firmly planted. Very capable swimmer, very strong guy, very buoyant. I don't have water problems.
You are a buoyant guy.
I am a buoyant guy. I don't have water problems.
I couldn't dunk you under if I wanted to.
Yep. So I'm enjoying
right up
myself.
like a hollow ball.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying myself. And then a boat comes.
They had to bring in the
They had to
cavalry.
bring in a boat. Like, yeah, and it's like, you have to go in. You're too far. You have to go in. And I literally looked at the boat and I said, me? Me? And they're like, yes. And I was just like, hands up, like, okay. Like, I started walking. I split the difference and went in a little bit. But like, I can't even go to the beach now because I'm not safe.
Who's in charge of that?
And they're like, oh, there's a riptide. I was up to my waist in the water. There's no riptide. There's 2 to 3 foot waves.
I'm good. I'm risking it on the
I'm
riptide.
good. Can I sign a waiver and you can just let me go? And it's like, even if I had a problem, you're a girl lifeguard. I'm pounds.
300 and what?
We were censoring that part. You can't take me. You couldn't scoop me out of there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I guess it's for her own sake then, because she's like, "Hey, come in." Because if I
don't want to go. Yeah,
if I have to save you,
she's on the radio back there, like, guys, this guy's 300. I can't do it. Let's get him in. Let's get him in with the boat.
Because if she had to come save me, she'd probably risk her own life. And she's like, "Yeah, I'll get this guy in, and he'll kill me if I have to go save him."
This is the ocean.
Yeah.
There's no like boundaries or anything.
So
This is
everything's
the
for
ocean.
safety now. Everyone's scared. Everything's about safety. You have to be safe. And you can't just go swim at the beach how you want. So I ended up going back the next day after the lifeguards left and did like a sunset swim and just floated by myself.
And got
wherever.
sucked away by the riptide.
Yeah, I was fine. I saw a jellyfish that was actually dangerous. And it was like not in season, which was weird. But it was like this blue inflatable thing. I think it was like a man-o-war.
Blue bottles?
It wasn't a blue
Do they
bottle.
call
I think it
those?
was called a man-o-war.
That makes sense.
And I saw it and was
That's
like,
the other one.
oy. I know that's not good to touch.
What'd you do?
I just went whoosh, and pushed them away.
With water?
Yeah, pushed
Good,
them away.
Smart.
And
See,
nothing happened.
you don't need the lifeguards telling you what to do. You know how to handle business in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. Business in the ocean. Speaking of people being scared, listen to this. We're still in the COVID Muppetry section. Listen to this video by Bill Gates talking about masks.
What is the downside of wearing a mask? I mean, it's got to be tough. You know, you have to wear pants. I mean, this is tough stuff. These societies are so cruel. Why do they make you wear pants? I'm trying to figure it out.
We're very glad you have yours on.
Bill.
So funny.
So funny. I don't breathe out of my fucking dick. Bill.
Yeah, it's not the same at all, Bill. It's actually messing people up. I have a speech pathologist friend, sweetest girl in the world. She was messaging me the other day, and she
Sweetest
sent
girl in the world. What are you doing?
She is. Don't interrupt my intro.
What's this guy doing?
And she messaged me this thing about the CDC, how now they're changing the standards for progress for children in like speech development.
Yeah, I saw that.
So back in the day, it was like 50 words by 24 months. Now it's 50 words by 30 months, which is if you're 24 months old,
It's 2 years.
6 6 more. It's like a quarter. It's like a 25% difference, right? Which is kind of messed up. And now instead of like seeing that and saying, "Oh, this is a huge problem. How do we fix this?" Everyone just changes the metrics to fit the narrative and not get in trouble. And that's what we've seen how many times now? Inflation, they did that. Inflation's super high. And it's
that's
like,
the
oh.
new move. That's the new
Yeah.
move to fix an issue. It's let's change the equation and get to the bottom of this.
Exactly. So inflation.
I actually saw Paul Krugman got dunked on today on Twitter. He was talking about like the supply chain, and he's like, "Oh, it seems like waiting times in the Pacific have gone way down for cargo ships coming in."
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, all they did was there's like an anchored off port metric that they use, where basically it's like, "Oh, if you're here and you're anchored, we count you as waiting." And they just changed it. They said, if you're more than 150 miles off the port, we don't count you. So they have a ton of ships waiting 150 miles off the coast of LA, and they're just not being counted
That doesn't
anymore.
count. And then we solved the supply chain
But the same
issue.
problem exists. Yeah, it's like we solved it. It's like by changing math.
Yeah, same with inflation. Inflation is like way worse than it is, and now they have like what, like the 7% number, and it's because like
7.5%.
They're not counting certain things, and they just like change what they need to get the result or to seem like it's a passing thing. Like, oh, it's no big deal.
CDC changed the definition of vaccines.
Vaccine,
too.
same thing. Use the vaccine definition before the pandemic. Used to be, inoculation to prevent getting the virus.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's a therapeutic that helps ease how intense your reaction to the virus is. And it's like, oh, I'm still getting the virus? That's weird. I didn't think if I got a vaccine, I'd still get the virus. It's like, oh, yeah.
Well, we changed the definition.
Look at the definition of a vaccine. Technically, and it's just like, a short-term correction to keep the sleeping people, enough of them asleep for longer.
Or at least not just totally waking them up.
Yeah. We got to trust the CDC.
What's the CDC involvement in speech development? I thought that was the Center for Disease Control. Why are they issuing directives on what's okay for kids speaking wise?
And everyone-
Shouldn't that be the Speech Pathology Center of America or something?
Yeah. It should, but that of America is the problem. It needs to be owned by China.
Yeah, it needs to be CDC China friendly.
Because China owns everything, and everything has to funnel from China. So everyone's mindset from the pandemic is like, oh, we need to trust the CDC. Trust the CDC. Do what they say. Who?
I didn't elect anybody to the CDC.
I didn't elect anyone to the CDC. And then it's like, it makes me think that the CDC and China go hand in hand, and China controls everything like puppet strings. And then the CDC tells you what to do, and you think it's a trusted source, but it's just another example of an institution being sold out over time, and then you still trust it and listen to it. But now it's like the opposite of what it set out to be originally.
Yeah, like the ACLU is trying to bully people into doing stuff now instead of like freedoms and all that.
ACLU used to defend the Nazis and like go to court for the Nazis, saying they should have a right to be here. And now they're busy going after Gavin McInnes and the Proud Boys.
Dude, I remember that in like, I think Skokie, Illinois is like a large Jewish population. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. Large Jewish population. They had like a Nazi rally there, and it was like the ACLU would fight for them. And
they're Jewish.
Yeah, it was like a very stirring the pot scenario, but it's like we still have the right.
Yeah. Now ACLU is the thing. Like people
put the mask on your kid.
Put the mask on your kid. Exactly. Shut down Gavin McInnes. These people are terrorists, and it's like they use that built-in trust that they developed with years of integrity and whatever.
And it's like somebody gives $20 a year. Somebody gives $20 a year to the ACLU. They're like, I started this in 1980. What's the ACLU up to now? And it's like you're suing like a baker who won't do a gay cake or something. Yeah.
Like, what are they up to now?
Clown world.
So, yeah, it's very bad. We don't trust the CDC. And
why would you? Have they given us a reason to trust them? Did anyone handle the pandemic well? Like, did anybody come out and be like, dude, that guy crushed it? DeSantis would be the answer.
Mm-hmm. The people on the right who knew the whole time about masks not working,
didn't follow, and
knew there should be treatments, knew the vaccine wasn't the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, but there weren't a lot of winners. Dr. Fauci, with notoriety maybe? Did he get one call right? Like who? Show me someone who made the right call and got it right.
Yeah, you're fucking fired. Pack up your shit and get out.
You're 5'2", Fauci. Get the fuck out of here.
These people would be fired in any other job.
That's what I'm saying. There's no results. The result is just whether or not you could waver the public outcry. Like Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, these people who just got like yelled at, like, fuck you, you're going to the French Laundry during this. It's like all they had to do was just sit there and eat like insults and all that stuff. And like that was their test. Is
so true.
If they bent but didn't break. You know, nobody got anything right or made the life-saving call for some people. Maybe early on with ventilators a little bit, with Trump giving ventilators to different countries or something. But even then, it was like when
killed the people.
If you got on a ventilator, you died. Yeah,
and like everything that they did, Andrew Cuomo with the old people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no hero. There's no single hero in the pandemic.
No one got it right, and the people who got it literally dead wrong are still in charge and still enforcing the rules and telling us what to do. And then it's like if you get it dead wrong, it's not like you're ballpark close and you're like, all right, tone this down, let's add some more of that. You're just dead wrong, still leading. It's like, I no longer think you have the best intentions. I no longer think you're trying your best to end the pandemic.
Yeah.
If you got it dead wrong like this, I'm starting to think you're in on it with the CDC, China, and that's what it is, and that's what the truth is. But we have Jester's privilege here on the show. And that's why we can say these things. We're making jokes. It's a satire show. It's all who knows what's serious and what's not. Yeah. There's a lot of sarcasm in this.
A lot of meta-irony.
A lot of meta-irony, and people understand that. A lot of dreams. I have a lot of dreams, and those dreams are very specific.
Yep.
And yeah, so YouTube can't really get mad at us because we're a satire show talking about dreams and hypotheticals and doing bits. All this has been a bit so far.
I don't believe anything I just said for the last hour.
And he also tried to call me out for being sweet about that girl.
Yeah, well, that's not like you. What am I going to do? Sit here and watch you just do whatever you want? Checks and balances.
I was hoping you would.
If I said some bullshit, you would just say, well, hold up.
All right. You're right. Moving on. Urban Decay section this week, brought to you by FleeTheCity.com, is a good one. Well, it's a bad one.
It's actually horrible.
It's a horrible one, but it's like when I'm like, oh, this is a good episode of Culture, but it's good because of how bad all the clips are. Like it doesn't mean the same thing. So this Urban Decay is intense and highlights very well the problems within our blue cities and states. Look at this first clip. A cop replying to a crime scene Yep, this guy's saying, "Oh, help her, help her."
He's all in the house. Help, help, help.
And bam, now you're getting shot by this guy.
Guy's just emptying a clip into you. Like,
And it was
crazy.
a complete trick. And I don't know. I look at this situation and I'm extrapolating here. Maybe it's not correct, but I think cops are scared to enforce the law and act with the law in their favor in situations when the suspect or potential suspect or person at the crime scene is a person of color.
African American.
So if you're approaching the scene and like it's a sketchy situation, oh, she's coughing up blood, you don't know what's going on, I would approach and go, okay, I don't know who to trust. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Okay, we're all good. The vibe is off. You don't want to show your hands. Now you're getting shot.
Yeah,
And
as soon as the guy goes like, well, what do you mean? Then it's like, okay, now I really need to see your
vibes
hands.
off. Now I got my gun. But because you don't want to say, let me see your hands to a black guy because you're scared that
Because you just watched police get demonized for 2 whole years.
literally BLM, everything, police brutality. Now you're going and you're not protecting yourself. And it's at your own expense. So now you're saying, I don't want to tell the black guy to show me his hands because people get mad about cops and black people interacting that way. And now you got shot. So hopefully everyone watches this and now understands the policemen's or police people's jobs a little more. And then maybe they can understand when they take certain measures to protect themselves, because there are situations like this where you're approaching and you think you're just there to help someone and then you're getting surprise shot by some guy that you didn't want to say, let me see your hands to. He could just said, oh, no, I'm all good. Yeah, here's my hands. The person's right here and needs help. Okay, cool. But you don't want to say it because you don't want to be offended. And then look, it costs you your own
Health.
life.
Yeah,
Health.
you got a long road to recovery right now.
Yeah. I don't trust like that.
So you think it was like a just, I don't want to be racist, I'm not going to ask to see the hands situation?
Yeah, I 100% think that.
I don't see how it couldn't be. Like, imagine if you're a police officer in America and you've watched like different crowds and groups ebb and flow on support and hate of you for the last 36 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what am I going to do? Immediately say, show me your hands to the black guy who's saying, help, help, help? That guy's a hustler too. Like, not a hustler, but like a con man.
Yeah.
He played that perfectly. Like, I'm ambushing a cop right now.
That was like acting wise, like he sold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was very dark.
So, hey, I'm not going to be mad if a cop asks me to show my hands because I might fucking blop blop them.
Exactly. It's like, don't worry about the microaggression. There's a macro.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Don't worry about
the microaggression of saying, let me see your hands to the cop. I know that could be bad, but then there's a potential of a macro aggression, which is just you getting shot in the chest.
Yeah, a steel aggression, a brass, maybe brass aggression.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I saw that playing out.
And microaggressions, they don't kill you.
Yeah.
You don't die.
And you can it's almost better to do them to protect against the macro.
Yeah, yes.
I'd rather do 10 microaggressions to prevent against one macro.
It's small potatoes.
It really is. Moving on, there was a guy who punched a 4-year-old in Times Square in another blue city, New York City. And this person was recently released and has a rap sheet that is 40 incidents long.
40 prior known arrests. Assaults a 4-year-old.
So, yeah.
He looks like a good citizen.
I'm sure he's great. He punched a 4-year-old. He's been arrested 40 times. Think about this, too. You think he got arrested 40 times and did 40 crimes? Or do you think he got arrested 40 times and did about 350 crimes?
Yeah, you think their catch rate is 100%?
Yeah.
No, I think this guy's, his catch rate's probably 25%, so let's extrapolate that.
Yeah.
That's about, 150 reasons.
Wouldn't you get to like 6 and be like, all right, let's just lock this guy up for 20 years?
That's why they have repeat offender laws. Like,
I like those repeat offender laws.
Me too.
3 strikes, they said was bad.
They always publicize like the 3rd strike, he stole a piece of gum. And now he's in prison. And it's like, well, this guy should be in prison. He's punching 4-year-olds.
That's what the 3 strike thing is, right?
Yeah. I think they got rid of it. It used to 3 strikes, if you remember, was in California.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got rid of it back when California was a Mountain West, state and had like that kind of Old West responsibility, like clicked in. Now they're obviously the trash capital.
I like, is it appropriate to say I like the 3 strike rule?
Yeah,
if you do a crime,
it's a fair take.
You get caught,
it's 3 felonies.
Yeah, there should be 2 strike rule.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Campbell back again. 2nd strike, I see.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I mean, no, that was legit. That was a legit preventative measure of crime, and now they don't care. Now it's like where else could you get 40 known arrests? You can't get 40 arrests in Central Illinois and be out on the street.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, you can't, exactly.
That's the only place.
Exactly. So New York, it's like, all right, arrested again. Here's your McDonald's lunch. Get back out on the street. Good luck, whatever.
Yeah, see you next week.
Let's see what this guy's name
40
is.
arrests. If you had 3 strike rule and it was felonies, you do 1 felony, you get a DUI.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that was bad. You get in trouble again, like you're close to getting in trouble, you know, like you're close to the third strike. So it's like, all right, that next one you're not going to get. And then if you do get in trouble again, that 2 felony guy is on like the best behavior ever. He knows if I get 1 more strike, I'm done. But if you don't have that, you just get let back out. You do whatever you want. It's a free for all. It's like a matter of like how much can you get away with. I bet he, punched a 4-year-old, robs a lady, spits on a cop. Or
shatters a window.
Exactly. So these people are rats, and we should just lock them up.
This guy should not be out on the street. And then you know what the thing is? It's a 4-year-old. You know, if you're a mom and you have a 4-year-old, and this took place in Times Square. So it's like the mom's doing like I'm going on the big adventure. I got the stroller. I got the juices. I got this. I got whatever. And then you just come to New York and, that's a
rat.
And some fucking rat just punches your kid.
And you're a lady yourself. And your kid is now punched by some rat who has no business being there.
So basically, this is the type of behavior you're discouraging. Remember, it was like, go take your kid to see the museum, the park. Oh, awesome. Sucker punched by street rats.
Yeah.
So I like exposing the street rats who are victimizing lower to middle class regular people. Middle class. If you how many times did you go downtown when you grew up in Long Island? On Long Island, correct? That's what they say?
On Long Island, yeah. We go to the city like once a month.
And that's high. That's pretty high.
That's high,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe for dinner or something
Dinners.
like that?
I had siblings who live in the city. We go get dinners in New York.
True.
I have a 6'5" dad.
I'm talking about when you were 4.
Not going to take any shit like this.
No shit.
That's what I mean. I have a strong dad, and that helps.
Yeah.
That helps get the street rats away. They're not going to want to mess with Big Steve.
But point being, it's an undertaking if you have kids to bring them into the city.
It's an event.
It's an absolute
Strollers,
event.
the parking, the moving around, safety in general.
You think this lady's coming back to Times Square anytime soon when she knows street rats like this are just out and about?
Because it's the street rat city now.
Exactly.
Because it's not a city for families. It's a city for people who are repeat offenders to be let back out and do what they want.
Mentally ill,
fight, be mentally ill.
Criminals.
And be criminals. And that's who's prioritized. So if you have a family, find something better to do. If you if you're a street rat with a record and want to keep being a street rat,
the world is yours.
You can make it there. You can make it anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. If I could be a street rat in New York, I could be a street rat anywhere.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah. Concrete jungle where street rats hang out.
Yeah, where street rats hate you. There's nothing you can do.
Bottle on your head.
Now you're bleeding on the sidewalk.
Need 40 stitches.
They let him out 6 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's really what it is. I mean, and that's what Democrats, that's what I'm working on a marketing campaign to get, because Democrats are the party of drug addicted, mentally ill street rats. I don't want those. Those guys should be cleaned up. Those guys shouldn't be able to pitch a tent outside of, I saw $1 million, like $2 million house. And it was like, you look on Street View and there's tents up and down the sidewalk.
Get them out.
Who?
What are we doing this for?
Who are these people? So Democrats are in cities and blue politicians, they're the party of street rats. If Republicans were in charge, the street rat problem would be,
and they would just be sent to the blue cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Send them anywhere else.
But point being, that's who the Democrats are really catering to. San Francisco spends an insane amount of money on those types of people, trying to rebuild it. Oh, trying to get them a house, trying to get them this. And it's like, they just want to steal something, get $40 and go get high.
Yeah.
So I don't think those people are worth redeeming. I think maybe you can dry them out in a little jail cell and it'll be for their own good. Then send them back to their dad who disowned them 10 years ago. Whatever.
But you prioritize them And it's at the expense of the people who deserve the city and who would make the city thrive. And it's like, how long can you do that for?
Yeah,
until everyone just leaves and you gut it. And
the
now it's
Mercedes
just,
drives past.
Yeah.
And they go, that looks bad. But then you have to walk past. You have to, park your car on the street. You can't pay $500 for that parking spot, So you have to deal with them. You're rubbing shoulders with the street rats, not the ultra wealthy.
That's who has to deal with it. We have another Urban Decay story. This is a different type of Urban Decay. They spent $200,000 in Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
$200,000 in Atlanta to do a pride flag crosswalk in 4 crosswalks. $200,000.
So this came up because our friend sent us a video of these people peeling out, doing like a street race type thing on the pride sidewalks.
Hate crime, probably.
Oh, guaranteed hate. Well, nah, they were black, so it was
totem pole.
It's all good,
If they were vaxxed,
that's like a negative plus a negative equals a positive. It's like just net it out.
But if they were unvaxxed doing that, they might get in trouble.
Exactly. So there's levels to this shit. But yeah, so rainbow crosswalks in Atlanta to cost nearly $200,000. 4 of them. Nice use of city funds. I wonder why they're trying to secede. What's that place? The north of Atlanta?
Buckhead.
Yeah, Buckhead. I wonder why they're trying to secede.
$200,000 on that. For what? What does that do for the LGBT people? You walk
literally
by and
nothing.
Go, oh.
It's a marketing thing. It's literally nothing. So you paid $200,000 for an ad campaign, I guess.
Just use the $200,000 for something else.
The comments were so funny too. It's like some people are like, "Yeah, that fill potholes, do another bus route, add anything."
Yeah.
And then some people were like, "We need this."
Yeah.
It's like, who are you?
Yeah, Atlanta transportation's really figured out, so they have some extra money to go do gay stuff. Moving on to the last section of Urban Decay, a good old-fashioned loot, nothing crazy. Just a boutique shop getting fully cleared out.
This was also Atlanta, right?
Probably.
So we're doing a little spotlight on Atlanta. You spend $200,000 here, you get looted here. Yeah, in ATL.
Here they go. And do you guys see this? Do you want this to not happen to you? Well, I may have a solution for you. It's called fleethecity.com. It's a real estate concierge. You go to the website, you put your information in, tell them where you're coming from and where you want to go, and they will help you get set up with your own custom ranch on some land and living life like it was meant to be lived. Get out of your blue cities and states and get into a custom ranch with all the fixings. You can get a bunker, you can get water collection, you can get land that you can grow crops on, you can get high-speed internet. Whatever you want and imagine, they can make possible. Go to fleethecity.com, put your info in today, tell them Fleccas sent you. Tell you hello from Fleccas. They're sponsors of the show. They support us. We should support them. Fleethecity.com. Get out of your blue cities and states and onto some land in a cool ranch in Idaho, Montana, Arizona, pretty much anywhere you want to go. They can make it happen. Get out of these blue cities and states, protect yourselves and your family, and get back to the land and live life like it was meant to be lived. Fleethecity.com.
Nice ad read.
Thank you. I'm getting good at it. It's because it's so organic. We have an Urban Decay section brought to you by fleethecity.com. Like, that makes total sense to me.
It's working out. It's not like you're talking about basketball brought to you by Dude Wipes. Come wipe your butt now.
Yeah,
go think about wiping your ass now.
Yeah, I got this underwear, by the way, Tommy John. Like, it's a perfect match. And they're friends of the show. They're really good guys. We've had like phone calls with them. They're great. Yeah. So check them out, fleethecity.com. It's totally worth it. And if you could have like a cool ranch, like I'm thinking about that, living on the land, you could have a cool ranch that you can give to your kids, to give to your kids, to give to your kids, and just make it a generational thing.
Yeah.
And
you know you can't do that, right? Like you are you're incapable.
Why?
You're not the type.
To live on the land?
I could go do some water, get a system set up, do this. You'd be like calling contractors. You can't do it.
Why can't I do it?
Uber Eats, you need too much stuff. I don't.
But what if we do it like near somewhere that has Uber Eats? I need to get a wife.
Hey, we didn't discuss this or anything. I won't go into it.
You don't have to get into it.
I won't get into it, but he can't do it.
That doesn't mean you can't.
I know, you're incapable.
So I just need to replace Uber Eats with hopefully some sort of wife who could make me all the things I'd want from outside world.
Yeah, who knows how to do like canning or something.
Eggs
She's got
Benedict.
Gardening. Eggs Benedict. Yeah.
I need Eggs Benedict.
He needs like Eggs Benedict and iced coffee. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah, I need Eggs Benedict. I need someone who's a pro Eggs Benedict maker because I could probably learn. But the hollandaise, I can't do hollandaise.
You know it's actually Hollandaise?
Moving on. Trucker blockade has been cleared in Canada. The terrorist truckers are kind of getting sent home.
Hey, you had a good run.
We had a great run. It was a fantastic protest. Message received. Now all the protesters are being labeled terrorists, and Trudeau's trying to keep the emergency powers he gave himself. Listen to what this woman said about what honk honk means.
How many guns need to be seized? How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for Hail Hitler, do we need to see by these protesters on social media?
Honk honk. It means Heil Hitler. Did you know that, Richard Ratboy?
I do now.
That makes sense. HH.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, do you hear that pitcher who got 3 strikeouts? He's in the KKK.
KKK.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
If it's a dog whistle.
So, can I say something?
Of course.
Something gets me irrationally mad when someone who's dressed up in like a nice outfit in some place of decorum, you know, like a place that should have, you know, value or integrity.
Reverence.
Yeah, exactly. They get up there and they say just the stupidest shit you've ever heard in your life. That honk honk means Heil Hitler. And it's like the fact that there's a crowd out there who isn't going, boo, what are you talking about? Like that makes me legitimately mad. They get the cameras, they get the fake world, and they make a statement that's so fucking ludicrous and doesn't make sense. And nobody questions or push back. That makes me legitimately mad. So,
and they go on TV in their outfits.
They do this.
And they say their lines.
Exactly.
You know who else goes on TV in their outfits and says lines? Muppets. So for that reason, it doesn't have to be automatic credibility. It's actually the opposite.
Shouldn't this woman be laughed at? Shouldn't she be like not taken seriously ever again? Honk honk means Heil Hitler.
Yeah, and it's like now you're labeling these people terrorist Nazis, and you froze their bank account and took their jobs away. It's like doesn't it feel like you're kind of escalating this to?
Are we the bad guys? You know, it's like yes, you are when you make insane statements.
It seems like you're kind of escalating things to a level that it doesn't have to be escalated. You're making like the backbone of your country, the truck drivers, the middle class working people, the enemy, freezing their accounts, taking their jobs, livelihoods. Now they can't provide for their family. You're making these people pretty desperate, and desperate people do bad stuff.
That's true.
So wouldn't you like want to de-escalate? And it's not like their demands are that outrageous. It's just don't make us get a vaccine we don't want. So it seems like they're purposely escalating. And I think that's why Justin Trudeau wants to keep the emergency powers. Because if there is any sort of flack from this, he'll want to have 100% control. Because these people are desperate and they have nothing to lose anymore. That's usually what happens when you ostracize somebody.
You've been so disenfranchised that you have nothing.
Exactly. So you're disenfranchised, you're ostracized, you're pushed out. And now it's like that's where someone becomes like radicalized, or the percentage of people that become radicalized like probably shoots up.
Yeah, why wouldn't I do something crazy?
So
they took everything from me. This is like Mel Gibson in The Patriot.
Yeah, this is like Mel Gibson in The Patriot.
He's like, my whole family, everybody got massacred. I'm tomahawking now.
It's done. And then if I go down and I die, whatever, I'm El Patriota.
This was a dream too.
That was a dream you had?
This was all a dream, yeah. I've just had a fever dream.
In real life right now.
Yeah, exactly. So
this whole episode's a dream.
Who are we?
This whole episode is a
spin the top. Spin the top.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of like, you know, this is what democracy is in a way. Because if Trudeau can get these emergency powers and then get them permanently, it's just like you just convinced like 51% of the Muppets to go vote for whatever. And it's like you can get Muppets to show up to do something. It doesn't mean consensus. It doesn't mean it's the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why, you know, being a Republican is so much better. Moving on. Listen to what Justin Trudeau said about the situation in Ukraine.
Canada and our allies will defend democracy. We are taking these actions today to stand against authoritarianism. The people of Ukraine, like all people, must be free to determine their own future We will continue working with our international partners to safeguard Ukraine's territorial integrity and prevent further Russian aggression.
I was like, isn't that interesting? He's worried about authoritarianism and overreach and people getting their rights infringed on. That's weird.
Please sit this one out, my guy.
Here's the thing. When it comes to Russia, Ukraine, I don't really pay attention to this one.
I don't care.
I don't care about it. But here's what I'll give you guys my gut feeling on Ukraine based on all the data I've collected. I talk about my gut feeling usually being right. And here's what I'll say. Ukraine feels like a globalist chess piece, like the rook.
Yeah.
Pretty high up piece. A country that they can blame for their problems, a country they can launder money out of, a country that they can use to like distract going to war and like have everyone talk about and distract. And here's the thing about Ukraine. I'm told that I should hate Putin. Putin's a evil authoritarian dictator and he kills journalists. Right? That's the number one thing. Oh, they killed journalists in Russia. Ooh, did they kill Seth Rich? Is that who killed him? Was it Russia? Hillary Clinton kills people. We have a shirt about it. I'm wearing it right now. Shopfleccas.com, the Clinton shirt. It's her holding a gun. The Clintons kill people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's a joke. It's in my dream. It's just Jester's privilege. I'm making a joke. It's a bit. So you go to the website, you get shopfleccas.com, get the shirt today. If you like Hillary Clinton, it's badass too, because what's more badass than killing people?
Nothing.
Killing your political opponents. So in my mind, Ukraine is just like this piece that's used when you need it. And it's weird because I'm told to hate Putin, and the people I'm siding with to hate Putin are Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Stephen Colbert, Justin Trudeau, the baby killers, the people letting people come across the southern border without any papers or anything. So now, like, these psycho leaders got it right, and we don't agree on everything, but we know Putin's the bad guy. I like Putin. I'm pro Putin.
Why wouldn't we want to be friends with Putin as America?
I like Putin. He's growing on me in the same way Kim Jong-un grew on me. I like them both. And I know I'm not supposed to say that because they kill people, but so does Hillary Clinton.
So does President Xi, and we do so much business with China that it's like a disgusting amount.
Everyone kills people. Everyone's killing people.
The world's a dangerous place. You know? The world's a scary place.
So if I'm being told to hate Putin and all these things because I need to be on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's side against them and for Ukraine, that just kind of tells me, hey, what's really going on here? This is all just a set-up fake circus thing, and you're just manipulating information, people, and places to get what your desired result is, or distract from things that are not good for, your campaign, your presidential, and you being in office.
Whenever you see John Bolton start making the rounds on the news, like, we gotta step in. This is for Ukraine sovereignty. It's like, that's when you know everyone's full of shit and they're trying to push something.
Exactly. And then it's like funny to see, I call them before and afters. There's this Twitter account, Brooklyn Defiant Dad, or Brooklyn Dad Defiant. It's like this left-wing famous progressive account, popular account.
The new Krasensteins.
Exactly. The new Krasensteins. And then they posted when Trump was in office, without firing a single shot, Rocket Man defeated Dotard Donnie, and I'm loving it. Oh, okay. Have your views. That's cool. And now that we're, in this engagement with Russia and Ukraine, the same account says, for the record, if you're rooting for Putin against America, you're a pathetic traitor. It's like, wow, we've really come so far, haven't we?
These guys just posterize themselves all day.
Yeah, so these people are the correct ones. I have to listen. I'm on the side of all the vaccine people. They're the baby killers. This time they got it right. The psychopaths got it right this time. And I have to hate Putin because he kills people, even though Hillary Clinton is constantly murdering people.
Putin kills people, but we just let criminals go in America.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what's worse, Like, sometimes killing people or just letting everybody out to kill more people.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. At least...
Who's good? What is good?
Yeah.
Is it results driven? Is it, low crime, whatever? Because we're on the...
Yeah, we're very much on the... We got to pull up. We're in a nosedive. We need to pull up. Well, that's the end of the episode. Anything else we want to add? No? All right. Well, another Fleccas Talks the Books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. FleeTheCity.com to get out of your blue cities and states and onto some land and live life like it was meant to be lived. And also Patreon.com/Fleccas and YouTube Join to get some bonus content. There's no bonus content this week because we were traveling and did not get any bonus content, but we will have some for you next week. We're going to CPAC. We'll have some special interviews from that, and we'll be back with the show next Friday, 10:30 a.m. on YouTube as usual. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
We'll see you at the next one.
Sitting here packing because I'm gonna move right. I'm watching Fleccas. What? They have my freaking beam on! Ah!
Listen to a person of color as a person I listen to a human of color. I named my replica